Well, welcome back again. It's Nick Michalak, joined with Steve Frazier.
Hi.
Hi. This is a continuation of the Friday the 13th and the Elm Street commentary series.
We're going to wrap up some loose ends.
Oh.
Kinda.
There's no more loose ends after this one for Elm Street. This is all there is.
That's right.
Nothing else
exists.
Nothing else exists. There's more for Friday. There's nothing else for Elm Street. It doesn't exist.
No, nothing.
But,
it's over.
Because this is more than goddamn enough.
Oh, I wish it was over before this.
Fucking sweet mercy. I know there's a lot of people who enjoy this one.
Nope.
It's not us.
Oh, all right. Well, get your shitty copy and set your shitty timestamp to 0.
Yes.
Turn your subtitles on.
I hope this
in English or Spanish, it doesn't matter.
Yes. We're watching our DVD version because, goddamn, I'm not playing for a Blu-ray on this fucker.
Yeah. So, and there's no difference in runtime or anything.
No.
So.
I'm just in terms of visual quality.
Sure. It's gonna look awful either way.
It's gonna be awful. But anyway, guys.
Here we go.
Just so you have expectations going forward. So, again, timestamp to 0, subtitles on, and we'll give you a countdown, and we'll get going. So in 3, 2, 1, play.
We should have done that one in Spanish. Tres, dos, uno.
Tres, dos, uno.
Here's the best part about the entire movie is the New Line Cinema signature at the beginning.
With Charlie Bernstein theme and the little Manfredini vocal effect. And
yeah.
That's the shortest film you ever watched.
Roll credits! So, let's see where do we leave off?
Okay, so our last horrible goddamn movie from...
Wait, hold on. It was the children who gave me my power. Okay. Oh, Bobby Englund, just
yes.
loose and free here.
Yes. Huh? He gets to sleep in that day. Have to sit in the makeup chair for 3 hours.
Right, 3 it might be. I think it's more than that. I mean, maybe it's 3 now. But,
See, this is the whole sequence where Robert Englund just wanted to do a prequel. Because, again...
Well, a prequel...
He doesn't have to sit in the damn makeup chair.
A prequel might not have been a bad idea. And I think they could still get something out of that.
Mm-hmm. Because Robert keeps going back and forth about not being able to do it. Now he kind of wants to do it again. He's
a little wishy-washy, yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so this is the 7th film. Do we need a backstory?
Yeah. Saying New Nightmare doesn't have anything to do with this, yeah. Those contact lenses look real fake. Oh. The next best part of the film is all the clips from the other films. Oh.
Jesse!
Didn't show the leather bondage here.
No Bob Shea and leather. The movie. This is kind of like Friday 4, is it?
4
that does the recap at the beginning.
7, yeah. Now you got to pay all these people for all this footage you're using.
Darn right they did.
Yeah, Koda's cashing his 2-cent check off of this.
Well,
that's about what it amounts to.
So.
Well, yeah.
So,
let's get into some.
The logic is already bad. Someone who will make them remember.
Right. So they're saying Freddy's in hell. For some reason, he needs to recapture the power that he lost. Which,
hello.
If we're following on, those look pretty fake.
Well, that's okay.
Well, anyway, but. If you want to go off from Freddy's dead, which is a whole pile of fucking nonsense as it is, he was already more powerful than ever, and they just killed him with a pipe bomb at the end of the movie and made no sense anyway.
Well, as long as it was his daughter that did it.
Oh, again, Jason Goes to Hell. It's the same bullshit nonsense. A family member has to kill him, despite the fact that they're back again in this movie, so what the fuck did that matter anyway?
Okay.
So it's like, okay, so Freddy's in hell now. and needs someone to make them think that he's still around to get more power from it. It's a real wonky concept.
It's a really bad. Wonky's not the right word.
Yeah.
Bad is the correct word.
I mean, let's just hit into the process of getting to filming a movie here. That took them almost 10 goddamn years from when they got license from Cunningham to be involved with the Friday films to make this. And,
right, yeah, because it was...
And if you hear about all these fucking scripts just sounded awful.
Every one of them.
Every single one was overworked and trying to... There was one where it's like, okay, Freddy was a child molester. Let's make it so he molested Jason when he was at Camp Crystal Lake as a kid, which doesn't make any sense with continuity, because Freddy probably barely was a kid himself at the time.
I mean...
And stuff like... Other stuff where, like, the devil puts Jason and Freddy in this competition to build up as many souls, like as a goddamn game show or something. Or they're two halves of an ancient evil, and Freddy's like a necromancer, these cults trying to resurrect him. There's such overworked bullshit.
I mean...
And then they...
Couldn't it have just been... I'm the worst? No, I'm the worst? Kind of...
Something.
I mean... Look at this Jason. Look how terrible he looks.
That's another thing. Because... We had Kane Hodder for 4 films, and despite the fact that we don't think most of those films were not very good quality, he's a fan favorite. He's been established as his character for over a decade, for like 15 years at this point, and for whatever reason, the goddamn executives at New Line decided, we want to go in a different direction with Jason, so we're going to fire Kane Hodder and find someone else. How does that make any sense?
It doesn't. Which asshole is this?
Ken Kirzinger, who was a stunt double for Kane on Jason Takes Manhattan. He was a Canadian stuntman because, again, Vancouver again.
Yep. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I mean, and...
So the mother says, your work isn't finished, go to Elm Street? What's wrong with Crystal Lake that you've been going to time and time again?
Right. And...
It's not even Freddy that says, go to Elm Street. It's the mother.
Yeah, it was Freddy impersonating the mother.
Oh, I see.
But it's also... It's not Betsy Palmer, you can tell.
Well, sure.
And because, one, she said that the script was garbage.
Well,
and two, they wouldn't pay her the money that she asked for to come back as the role, so they decided to get someone else to do it. Good on Betsy Palmer.
Yeah, she's one person.
She knows her value, and she knows when she's reading a piece of garbage script. Oh, and this new metal soundtrack in this movie. How dated is this shit? I mean, you're not a metal guy.
I'm not really, no.
No, but I mean, this is 2003 to the nth degree with this the rock songs and everything.
Could there have been any movie with more anticipation than this one?
See,
with the biggest letdown.
Exactly.
Did M. Night Shyamalan direct this?
Because I mean,
okay.
I mean,
hold on. We gotta F Mary kill the Three Stooges.
All right, go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna marry Mo. I'm gonna kill Larry and fuck Curly.
Okay.
No, you're not gonna play. Okay,
I'm
fine.
not gonna play.
Oh, come on. All right. Sorry. Okay, anyway. So, we've been building anticipation for 10 years.
At least from the time when people knew it was going to be a reality.
Well, I mean, even
with
let's...
the stinger at the end of Jason Goes to Hell.
Right, we go, oh, wait, they're both in the same, universe now. Whatever, there's a potential for a movie. Yeah. What could it possibly be? And then...
And they have everyone attached... You could possibly imagine throughout the years they had like Rob Bottin who was going to direct it at one point, and
there were 37 people.
There were 37 people. I can't even remember half of them. And there's twice as many screenwriters that again turn in just what we just said, which is overworked concepts that just had. They're trying too hard to meld mythologies and create a deeper backstory. Again, that's more an Elm Street thing where they convolute backstory and then post Jason Takes Manhattan, where Cunningham gets involved thoroughly, he starts messing around with the mythology and bullshit and everything. And on the Crystal Lake Memories thing, they said that Cunningham had full veto control over whatever they wanted to do with Jason, but obviously we already established in the last 2 films he doesn't
care.
Give a rat's ass.
Right. He wants his name on the check, right. And whatever, however it got there, doesn't matter.
None of the stuff that's iconography with Jason does he have any reverence for. So you're already in a bad situation.
Blah, blah, blah. Teenager drama. Got it.
Right. And we're very early on, but the acting in this film is really bad in a lot of cases.
Well, they don't really develop characters.
Well, yeah, I mean, one, they don't develop characters. A lot of the dialogue is really bad.
And this is the same house?
Yeah.
That's the idea? That all these people are... Well, at least one of these characters lives in the same house?
Yeah.
But not like, oh, hey, remember 20 years ago when that family died here?
Yeah.
And then the other family moved in and they went crazy?
Yeah.
And their bird exploded?
I mean, if this is the same as Nancy's house, the layout's completely different. This is not the same interior as that house.
No. I don't understand. I already don't understand. Oh, maybe not.
It's the same. Looks like it's the same exterior. The interior doesn't look the same.
Kia. I don't know. So, I'm already perplexed with the idea that Freddy needs people... He needs people to remember him.
Right.
So he's going to send a different killer.
Right.
With its own story. His own story.
Right. And as we'll see as the film progresses, none of these people actually know fuck all about Freddy Krueger, except for one guy in the whole town.
Well, right, because everybody moved out when Roseanne was living there.
Right.
Back in...
This isn't Springwood from Freddy's Dead. As much as that made God no fucking sense, there's still no continuity with anything.
Yeah, it's like they said, well, we'll just do selective...
Yeah.
Selective remembering. Yeah.
Yeah.
That didn't look like a good time there. She looked like she was kind of in pain, or...
That's not...
So, at least this guy, he's already...
He at least has a character.
Shown twice now that he's basically an asshole.
Yeah.
The don't kiss me thing,
yeah.
The don't touch me thing. And I guess the Kia character, we kind of know a little bit about her, but everybody else is just bland so far. I can't discern one from the next.
And this is a body double. It's not actually Katharine or Isabelle. They got someone else to be naked for her on the film.
Makes sense.
All right. Well, my thing is like, okay, why bother then? If the actress doesn't sign off on it, but you want to keep the actress, why hire someone else? Why do you put a gratuitous tit shot of a different actress in the movie? I don't know.
When has Jason ever done this
No.
quintuple stab like that?
Never.
And this is the gag that everybody remembers. But why did he stab him first? Why wouldn't he just break him in half?
Right. It's contrived. Because Freddy needs to have people believe that people are being killed in their sleep to reawaken the idea of him existing in the world.
But he has the ability to go into people's dreams. He could just do it himself.
Yes. And they're saying he basically has no power now to do anything. Because he's trapped in hell, but Jason's trapped in hell, so how the fuck did Jason get out of hell? Just told him to wake up and go for a stroll?
Well, yeah.
Then why doesn't Freddy just do that?
Just do the same thing.
Why doesn't Freddy just do that?
Roll credits.
I mean, Freddy basically didn't have any power until he killed Tina in the first film. She's the first victim. He worked out just fine then, too.
He's the first victim. She's the first victim that we learn about.
We're aware of, yeah, but in basic continuity, that's what we know. But regardless, someone had to be Freddy's first victim, so he was able to do what he has to do and get on with it without this convoluted nonsense.
This guy's somebody, right?
Lochlyn Munro, yeah.
Weston Hills, is that the same place from 3?
We're going to get that in the film.
I watched this one time. Well, I take that back. I'm trying to think how many times I've seen it. It's either 2 or 3 total. I've blocked it out of my memory. I was beyond excited. I went opening weekend for free because that was my deal.
Okay.
And it was, I mean, the posters were, I made sure the posters were prominently placed. I want to say we had, there was a teaser poster that had Freddy, there was a teaser poster that had Jason.
Yeah.
And then there's the final poster that has the both of them.
Yeah, facing
which
one
is the
another.
one that you have, I think. And we had 5 poster cases in the lobby, and I did the Freddy on one end, the Jason on the other, and the other one in the middle. And I don't remember. Maybe I did all 5, if like the finals on 2 and 4. But it was like I didn't care if people. I was like, I don't care. I'm hyping this movie up. And then what is that shit?
CGI. This film was littered with CGI and very few practical effects.
This looks like Space Jason X.
Oh, yeah.
Now that I like. That's kind of a fun. That feels Nightmare to me.
Okay, yeah.
Authorized entry only. Are you authorized? So, you see how they took the color and kind of toned it down to like a gray?
Yeah, it's all steely blue type of stuff.
Why would... Just so you know it's a dream? Is that the idea? Why wouldn't you just leave it regular and have that is it a dream or is it not a dream aspect? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why screw with it? Oh. Ugh. But what? The strong enough thing really sticks in my craw.
Yeah. Because, I mean, as we saw in the original Elm Street...
That is so bad.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But as we saw in the original Elm Street, he doesn't just kill Tina right away. He builds... I mean, he's obviously actively chasing her, but it's the fact that he's getting in under her skin, under all their skins, Rod's and Heather's and everyone else, Nancy and...
They've all dreamed about
him. They all dreamed about... He's building himself up to the point to get him into their consciousness, get that primal fear of him so that he can go in there and kill. Because, again, the entire idea in that first film is I give you your power. If I turn my back on you, your power is gone. So, yeah, they have that idea here, but it doesn't make any blasted sense that he has to employ someone else to get to the end that he have to, because he's already gone through this whole thing and knows how to do it on his own.
That doesn't look like his dad. And the dad wouldn't react like that.
No.
He wouldn't just grumble and turn away.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that is kind of okay, you know, since if he doesn't know who he is. But, okay, let's go back to the fact, who the fuck wouldn't know who he is in this town?
Yeah.
In that house?
Yes.
It's the same house! The house!
Right, and in continuity, when we... Last time, I think we mainly saw it... Well, we saw it in Freddy's Dead, but also in... All the way back to Dream Master, the place was completely dilapidated. So now, again, continuity says, oh, it's back to
somebody's
being
restored it,
being a fully restored thing, and that was bad.
Yeah, all of this is bad.
Well, it's the fact, whether it's good CGI or not, it's not scary.
And he looks terrible.
It's not as good, yeah. I mean, it's not, again, not as bad as it ever got, but it's...
Until he's strong enough, he'll let Jason have fun. So...
It doesn't, again, it's all contrivance.
So he's the puppet master here in this scenario, but again, why wouldn't he just...
Yeah.
He's gonna let Jason have fun? I mean... What does that mean?
They're just going to let him go around killing people, even though it's like...
But what does that do for him?
To me, it doesn't do anything, because none of these, aside from the first kill, all of them are just like random slasher kills. They have no distinguishing marks of Freddy Krueger. No one's asleep when they died. No one can be even attributed to the fact that they were even asleep when they died. They're all just getting slashed up.
I mean, if anything, if Freddy needed anybody for anything, it would be to help them go to sleep.
Right.
Where then he could take over.
Right.
He cannot be in the real world.
Yes.
Whereas Jason can.
Yeah.
How does Jason make them go to sleep? I don't know. I'm rewriting the movie right now. Like, and who are all these people?
More new characters.
Now,
and
all of these people have had nightmares?
Right, and this one's going to get into more things where it shows that Freddy's already killed people up to this point. Basically, it comes down to the fact that the guy on the left, his brother was killed by Freddy. The main girl in the film, her mother was killed by Freddy. So what the fuck is going on here? I mean, obviously this is going to be like another hour into the movie, but we reveal backstory that Freddy's already tormented people and he's killed people already. This thing doesn't make any fucking sense.
I mean, some of the other theories that you the other script concepts that you laid out a minute ago are way worse, but equally illogical.
Yes. I mean, they're supposedly going to have some, like, Tommy Jarvis show up at the end of this film, but then they brought in David S. Goyer to rewrite parts of the script and doctor it up and removed a whole bunch of stuff and put a bunch of bad dialogue too. They brought in someone else to make the script even worse than it already was.
Well, at least we got to see his ass.
And
now he's going to go to the quiet room. Because this is Weston Hills.
Yeah. No quiet room. Just
no quiet
dump him
room.
in a bed.
You got doped up and you stole the key? And now, oh my god. Okay.
Jeez.
This is so bad. That didn't look like the same house.
The front door looked orange.
It's been 30 years. Or I guess it's 20 years at this point. Maybe it's only 15. They couldn't come up with a better drug than Hypnosil? Like, that was experimental back in, I guess, in 87. Oh my god, this was like 15 years after. This is the halfway point between basically Nightmare 3 and now. I mean,
yeah.
Actually, this movie is closer to Nightmare 3 than it is to us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's 19 years that we're I don't know, I'm getting confused now. The original one's 84, this one's
I was saying between 3.
We're closer to the release of this film than the original than it is to the close of the original film.
Yeah.
Are we all confused?
Yeah, I was referencing part 3, but
oh. Yeah.
The Hypnosil.
Whatever the case.
Meanwhile, more bullshit that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, let me just drug my daughter here, which is an illegal act.
And why would the police be telling this information to a citizen?
Because one of the guys who escaped ends up being her former boyfriend. Again, it's all this stupid backs. Again, it kind of annoys me.
Oh, is he the one that she slept with when she was 14 and they fell in love?
Something, I don't know. I'm not.
The black one was talking to her about that in the hallway at the beginning.
We were talking about other shit that was.
Yeah, she said something about
egregious.
how you were 14 and she said we were in love or some shit.
But you know, I don't mind you introducing new characters in this film, but it's one of those weird type of things. Again, it kind of goes back to when I was criticizing things in Freddy's Dead, that we have living survivors from multiple films in these franchises that you could bring together for a fantastic fan celebration of this franchise, and none of them seem to exist anymore. Alice Johnson doesn't exist. Tommy Jarvis doesn't exist. But you're going to create all these new characters with all these deep backstories that have things to do with Freddy Krueger now that we've never heard of before, and contradicts other things we've already had established in the franchise. It just bothers me.
Yeah, there's no link whatsoever.
Right.
It's all retcon.
Pick and choose what you want to acknowledge and throw everything else out the window because it doesn't suit your needs.
I mean, I still can't get over the fact that Jason just got up and walked out of hell.
Yeah. I don't know.
And I don't... How... At what point would anybody being killed by Jason make you remember Fred Krueger?
None.
That's the premise of this movie.
Exactly.
Who likes this garbage pile? This movie is a dumpster fire.
Yeah. And the one guy who knows anything about Freddy Krueger, and this character is here for full exposition dump on everything.
How do you know that? So this is the second time we've heard this story. Once from Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
Once from this asshole.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you've already seen the previous 6 films, so you know.
Right, it's one of those I mean, it's going to get worse later on when I get into more things, but for a film that's clearly exists merely for the sake of fan service, they almost treat it as if this is for people who've almost never seen anything more than maybe one film in the franchise.
Yeah, it's a
And
cake and eat it too situation.
Right, you saw one entry in this franchise, either one of these franchises, 10 years ago. There was Bob.
That was Bob, wasn't it?
The principal.
And okay, let's say hypothetically, a casual fan saw maybe Nightmare 1, maybe they saw Jason Lives on a movie marathon Halloween night sometime and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all they know.
Yeah.
What's going to compel them to come see this?
Exactly.
If they haven't taken the time to watch the rest of the franchises...
Why am I going to go see one that's a culmination of what was it now? 17 movies?
17 movies. And this is what they came up with. To combine 17 movies worth of folklore.
Yeah.
And all they could... What?
And, of course, we're still stuck with goofy fucking Freddy. It's a weird thing, because they started this whole film making Freddy seem like he's a salacious bastard. But then he's goofy and comical and wisecracking the rest of the film. It's like, choose a damn tone.
Well...
Choose an approach that suits the character, what you want to do with it.
They changed in... 88, they changed.
Yes.
And he became a comedian.
Yes.
And then they felt like,
we've gone way too far off the edge.
you can't go back, right?
Yeah.
Even though, had they just gone back to making him a serious, like they've already set it up that he was a legit child molester in the beginning of this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And
he's doing this whole voiceover that's almost like slurred, kind of sleazy voice in a certain way.
Right, and the little girl says he likes little girls, and nothing really phases me at all. But even I was like, ooh,
you're building up Freddy as a sickening figure,
right? And
now he's pulling up wisecracks and juvenile jokes,
right? Just to get you're making me like him again. Now I don't dislike him anymore.
Right, make up your mind, and Fletcher had to get to it. The rest they chose for this goddamn thing just pisses me off, because Ronny never watched any film in either franchise ever before.
So he's 0 for 17.
He never watched any of them. He thought, because I never watched any of them, I have no bias or whatnot, so I'm the perfect guy to do this. And Robert Shea was saying, we want a journeyman director. What?
Why?
That doesn't make any sense.
How about you pick any director from any of the previous 17 movies?
I would love to see Tom McLaughlin do this. The guy who did Jason Lives. He would have done... I would expect him to do a fantastic job with it.
Beekler was available.
Rennie Harlan's looking for work. He's had a couple... Rennie Harlan's got a couple of bombs at this point. You told him, you can have Jason and Freddy do what you like. It would have been... It would have been his branded junk food, but man, it would have been a lot sweeter than this. Like you said, Beekler would, if he would be willing to direct another film, he wouldn't have all this bastardized CGI crap in this film. He would have practical effects.
Well, first of all, this looks like shit right now with the blue light.
It's like Batman Forever. Fucking neon day glow. Nonsense. Blacklight crap.
I mean, what's the Jason storyline right now?
I haven't seen Jason in 15 minutes.
Since the porch, when
right,
he, murdered the father-son combo to basically frame the kid.
Or whatever, I don't know.
Or whatever.
What the point of that is, I don't know.
Well, everybody thought that the kid must have done it, and then... And let's put a rave dance in here in the middle, just because.
Blech.
I will say, the imagery here in the corn maze, this is kind of my pace. you know, I kind of like... I love the corn maze aspect. Linderman! What exactly... Oh, I guess it was beer. Okay. So... Jason followed them?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's one of those things.
He's been in more ridiculous situations in the past.
Yeah. But at least in the quality Friday films, he has a set boundary. He's covering a certain territory. The Crystal Lake Woods area, as expands every film. But so he's just wandering around town. He's Michael Myers in like Halloween 2 or Halloween 5.
Halloween 5 also has a party.
Yeah.
In a barn.
He just wanders around town waiting to kill someone.
And it's always someone very specific.
Very specific.
After wandering aimlessly.
Yes. And I don't know if just the quality of acting is bad, or the dialogue is so bad, or the characterizations are so bad to know what the failing quality of some of these things are. I mean, there's a couple people who put in worthwhile performances, but there's some people just don't have an acting quality with them and whatnot.
I like this kid.
He's all right.
The Linderman kid.
But this is Jason Ritter, John Ritter's son. And he doesn't have John Ritter's talent whatsoever. The boyfriend here.
Will from the Institute.
Yeah.
Weston Hills. That's John Ritter's kid, huh?
Yep. This is not far off when John Ritter passed, I think. Another couple of years, I think.
I know he died on September 11th.
Oh. Not the one.
Not the September 11th, but it was a September 11th.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same house. Unlike Halloween 5.
Yeah.
Where they made up a completely different house.
Yes.
Like, show me a different house and tell me it's the same house is just as ridiculous as show me the same house and tell me you don't remember what happened in that house.
I mean, Katharine Isabelle here, she's a really good actress. She was on Hannibal.
That's this girl here?
Yeah. Ginger Snaps movies, so I've seen her quality. She's a really good actress, but this film doesn't give her much to work with. It's like, what the fuck is this?
She's hallucinating, because that's the bent-in-half boyfriend.
Yeah, well, yeah. But again, it's one of these things like, okay, when did we get into a dream sequence here?
Did she fall asleep?
I haven't seen her fall asleep yet.
I mean, usually they don't show it, but at what point at this party would she have fallen asleep? Now she finds a basket of kittens, and then... Oh, wait, no. That's not this movie. I mean, she wasn't even, like, in a situation where she could have fallen asleep.
No.
She's at a party.
The only thing you could possibly imagine, like, she got so drunk she passed out, but that doesn't... There's no establishment for that.
And what did Jason do to bring Freddy out in this scenario?
Nothing. We didn't need that.
No. Oh, there it is. She's passed out. Okay. But, again, the premise is Jason has to remind people who Freddy is.
Yes.
I mean, that's like saying, you have to remind me who Joe Smith is. I don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows each other.
Yeah.
What are you laughing about, you prick? There's nothing funny about this. You know what he's laughing about? He got a big payday.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm sure he did.
And all of us are the victims.
Yeah.
Who's a victim? I'm a victim. I mean, this... Okay, so now we're back to slightly more scary. Like, this is more Nightmare 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Freddy. He wasn't the one that killed Trey, by the way.
No. But then, even though it was okay...
Why is he talking? Freddy talks too much.
Well, it's also like, okay, she says, you're the one who killed Trey. It's like, oh, no, that was... Don't worry about my little errand boy. Isn't his entire goddamn thing again to make everyone believe that the people getting killed are because he's doing it. So now you're blatantly telling someone, no, I didn't do that, so I had someone else do that for me.
But he asked him to go and...
Exactly.
Oh, my God. I'm going to be sick.
Okay. Well, let me break and tell you stories.
Tell me a story.
Tell me a story. Okay.
There we go.
Because this whole thing building up to this film and whatnot, I was still running the Forever Horror website right in the middle of it. And I think for a reason I was running news stories and kind of helping kind of debunk some stories here and there about whatever the case was.
You're following along with the progression of
and stuff like rumors about trailer release and stuff like that. And I helped debunk something, and then New Line Cinema executive Jeff Katz contacts me.
Jeff Katz is the is that the little chubby guy that's in the documentary who ended up having like some sort of producer credit on this, or he was like a nobody at New Line.
Yeah,
worked his way up.
Yeah,
and somehow was privy to all of the scripts.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? Anyway, and so okay, the little chubby guy from the Never Sleep Again documentary.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Go ahead.
So he contacts me and thanks me for it, and sends myself and my co-webmaster Joe the poster I showed you, the teaser poster.
Sure. The teaser poster with both.
Yeah. The white background on it. And so as we go along, I get into an email conversation relationship with the guy, and he basically just kind of chatting back and forth about different things and helping to confirm or deny certain stories and whatnot, and stuff goes on and stuff like that. And we were just in a relationship for a little while. He gave me kind of a heads up about something that was almost going to happen with the Phantasm franchise between New Line and Coscarelli that ended up falling through. And so we had a relationship going there for quite a while, but I haven't been in contact with him in a long time. But we had something going there for a while. So I was in contact with a New Line Cinema executive while this film was building up to release, and had his confidence.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Tony Caesar?
And Tony Caesar. On some stilts again.
And again, how is it that he even came to be in this? And this is like, if you'd have done a straight like Texas Chainsaw, handheld cam follow, like this is a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
But all of this just feels so
slow motion.
It's like
nonsense.
overproduced. It's
And
what is that shit?
Yeah. I mean, the goddamn direction of Ronny, I don't like it at all. He wanted to make it as a big comic book monster movie, and just like that doesn't suit either franchise whatsoever. What he does here, and he wanted Jason to be like a lumbering Frankenstein's monster, which doesn't fit with any portrayal of Jason up to this point whatsoever either. And the only guy you have involved with the production as any say with Jason doesn't give a shit about the character, with Cunningham.
No.
So there's no real, because you got everyone in New Line's gonna do whatever they can with Freddy to make him as big of a star in the film, and whatnot. You got so many people on his side. There's basically no one there to speak for Jason, and you got rid of Kane Hodder, who would have exercised a little bit of muscle on the whole thing to kind of say, this is the way Jason, I feel, should be portrayed. Just
everything just doesn't make sense.
Right. I mean, it's one of those things, like, I so just wanted some element of something to be scary in this film. There's nothing that's scary.
No, right now most of the Friday films had been not scary up to this point.
Right.
I don't even know what the last... I guess Jason Lives had some elements of terror in it.
I mean, Seven, despite the butchering he got from MPA, had stuff that had a mood and a kind of a I don't know if it's creepy or whatnot, but it had a morbid sense about itself.
Yeah, and then after that it just became whatever.
Yeah. But if you want to take them a little bit back to something a little bit more concrete in their foundations, you could have done that. You could have had something that had some atmosphere, so some suspense to it.
And the Nightmare films were kind of a joke after 3. I love them, but they were, both literally and figuratively joke.
Yeah. Again, New Nightmare, doesn't factor into continuity, and again, it bombed at the box office, so it really just didn't have a resonance across the board about anything.
So,
right.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why would... I don't know. Here's another... It's just another layer of a story that
doesn't need to exist. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's too much interpersonal drama stuff that I just feel kind of exhausts. It's kind of exhaustive in terms of building a story around Freddy and Jason. That
right, like we didn't need this whole drama.
Right.
There you go. Never would have thought of that before today. How many people don't know what their dad do for a living?
Exactly.
Or where he drives to work every day?
Right.
Are they trying to play this kind of like, Nancy and Marge Thompson? Because, the parent covered up some secret and...
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like...
I get what you mean, yeah. I'm just trying to grab details in the scene. But again... I don't know.
Is this supposed to be Nancy's bedroom? Yeah, I guess it would be.
Mm-hmm.
We're going, 5s and 10s of minutes at a time without the two people.
The main stars of the movie.
Right, and at this point, and we are...
Past the halfway point.
Past the halfway point, okay. And let me ask you this. What's the name of this movie?
Freddy versus Jason.
Has there been any confrontation or even a premise that would lead to a confrontation between the two?
The only thing we've had up to this point is that, again, we had Katharine Isabelle's character is asleep in Freddy's realm, and then Jason comes along and kills her while she's asleep and nabs the kill away from Freddy. That's it. That's the only semblance of a start of a conflict at all. And that's halfway through the movie.
And did he say, Freddy, pronouns pal, did he, Freddy, mention that in that scene?
Basically saying, no, she's mine, you don't get to have her.
Okay.
After she fades away from the dream world. But that's it.
And there's been zero follow-up on that.
Right.
Just to make sure I'm following along.
Yeah.
Got it. And this kid also broke out of Weston Hills. Nobody's looking for him?
There's nobody home in his house, apparently.
Well, now he's dreaming, I assume.
Well, his parents weren't there saying, how'd you get out? What happened? Police have been around looking for you.
Wake aid.
Why hasn't that happened?
Right. The police were asking about the other guy.
Yeah.
He's got Pepto-Bismol. Oh. You saw Freddy. I guess that means Jason must have reminded you of him. Yes?
Well, remember, he's Exposition guy. To tell everyone exactly what's been happening in this movie, who Freddy Krueger is, his entire backstory. In about two minutes here, he's going to be dead. Because, again, he's another character written to a script to just dull out exposition to the characters who have no idea what's going on. And once that's taken care of, he has no purpose in the story and he gets offed. Which we've been at before in other films. Because that's bad screenwriting. You have no other way to figure out how to weave a story around these characters except to have someone have their sole purpose to just tell you all the little details of the backstory that the audience already fucking knows.
Right. 17 films.
17 films.
All of which available in our archives now.
Yes.
Now that looks good.
There's some good stuff there.
That looks better than any of the digital effects.
Yeah. And the brother in the scene, that guy Zach Ward, out of nowhere, he hasn't interacted whatsoever, but he just followed my Twitter one day. There's been no interaction. He just followed me for some bizarre reason. I don't know.
Wait a minute. What? That is interesting. What message is it that Freddy... How did he do that?
He hasn't had any power to do anything.
He's goddamn Harry Potter now with his wand? He could just
fling
Axio fire and all of a sudden...
So he needs to send a message. Okay. He hasn't been strong enough to kill anyone yet, but now he's able to kill this guy. For what reason?
And he wanted him to...
What development has there been in Freddy's plot? And now make him strong enough to kill this guy.
And now that guy's sending the message.
Yes.
Which makes Jason
worthless.
Completely irrelevant to this entire plot.
Yes.
Although now he's out of hell and loose again in the world. It's got a Michael McKean a little
yeah, a little bit.
He's got a little Scott Conn in him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Both of which would have been better choices.
Misspelled respect on the subtitles. RESECT.
Oh, apparently they never heard the famous song. Nothing about this makes any sense.
Right, so one of these things, again, the film that's telling out so much backstory and exposition, we're still keeping the audience completely in the dark about what any of these characters are talking about in terms of we stopped him before, all this type of stuff. It's like, why do you have to put this much backstory into this film? of brand new characters and brand new situations again. I hate reiterating myself in the commentaries, but it's the fact that if you wanted backstory, you have established lead characters in this continuity you can bring back without telling much exposition about them and move the story forward.
I'm still hung up on person A versus person B.
Yes.
Implies conflict between two individuals, both with a premise.
Exactly.
And some sort of, a causal event.
And now we're telling Jason's backstory, almost an hour into the movie.
There's only a half hour to go.
They're about 30 or 40 minutes.
There has to be a causal event that leads person 1 to have conflict with person 2.
Right.
And then you name the entire movie after that conflict.
Yes. I mean, it's the whole thing here is like, Freddy and Jason don't have any conflict until these characters want to intervene and try to pit them against one another. That's how things happen in this movie. These ancillary characters that basically just don't give a crap about are trying to build some sort of scenario so we can throw these two characters at one another so they can cancel each other out. Freddy doesn't try to find some way to get at Jason. Jason doesn't try to find any way to get at Freddy. It's contrived, convoluted nonsense.
Freddy's the one pulling the strings.
Right.
According to this. And now Jason can't be stopped, is what they also said.
Ugh.
If Freddy's the one pulling...
People had no idea who Jason was until about 5 seconds ago.
If Freddy's the one pulling the strings, he would have been able to just enter somebody's dream. This would have been a Freddy sequel.
Exactly.
And the word Jason wouldn't appear in it at all.
Right.
I mean, the her line about Freddy dying by fire and Jason dying by water. Ugh, gross.
There's nothing but a little kitschy trivia thought in an IMDb thing to me.
I mean, it's at least, she says, how can we use that? Okay, that's...
It's a line of thought.
It's a line of thought. I'm okay. It's logical. It's mythological, sort of. But then they
doesn't have anything to do with anything, really.
Right. In the end, it just kind of fizzles. Like it's a soundbite.
Yeah, well, there's that. They don't do anything with it. And also, again, you look through the franchise, how many times has Jason been completely submerged underwater for long periods of time and not phased them worth of crap?
Yep. 6 into 7.
Yeah.
And also, the beginning of 7, which occurred at some point.
Yeah.
Where he was also underwater.
Yes. 8, where he walked underneath the fucking Atlantic Ocean for fucking 8 hours.
Not yet approved by the FDA. It's been
circulating for 15
years.
Fucking years.
Weston Hills is apparently the only place in America that has Hypnosil. Manufactured right there at Weston Hills. I'm very confused why the idea that something had previously happened in that house isn't enough to educate the characters about the existence of Fred Krueger, who they knew nothing about.
Worked enough in the second film.
I mean, okay, I'll buy that this group of millennials doesn't... Well, they might not be millennials.
No, they wouldn't be.
I would buy... Well, they're behaving like them. I would... that this group... These people are probably older than us. this group of actors or characters, I use that word loosely, I would buy that they don't know who Freddy is, I guess. You know, if it's a town secret, they try to keep it quiet, whatever.
Yeah.
But people know.
People know. You're well entrenched in the internet age.
Yep.
You're gonna find something. There's no way you just don't know anything.
How do you know that? If you were locked up here, how would you know what happens on the other wings?
I don't know.
If you go... If your sister... You have a sister?
Yes.
I don't. If your sister were to have a baby and she was on the maternity ward of the local hospital, how would she know what was happening on the floor below her? She wouldn't.
No. How would she know what's happening in the psych ward on the other side of the goddamn building? She wouldn't fucking know jack.
How would she know what was happening in the emergency room?
No.
Nothing.
No, you wouldn't know anything.
Meanwhile, this guy, not that guy, but the other guy, who is, what the fuck,
God
is
awful.
locked up. See? What the fuck? See? You're thinking the same thing we are. The CGI in this is so bad. Meanwhile, just because he was a inmate, let's say, suddenly he knows other wings and why they're there and... Hookah CGI Freddy. This might be the worst thing I've ever seen. And I sat through Jason X 3 times.
Do I even need to even criticize this character? That he's clearly a ripoff of Jason Mewes from Jay and Silent Bob. Blatantly so,
it's pretty
in every detail.
I almost said it when his first showed up on the screen. I was like, wait,
I might as well just throw it in there. All someone's just going to say it in the comments anyway. It's so blatantly obvious. They even talk about it in the Never Sleep Again documentary. It's like, oh well.
This imagery is kind of nice. With the covered eyes.
Yeah.
Now that looks like bad, though.
Yeah. I mean, when they have so few actual practical physical effects, you're obviously not employing the cream of the crop to come in and do it if you're barely having any use for it. If you're doing it 99% is CGI and it looks this goddamn bad.
I mean, that is, on a 1 to 10, that's a -2.
That's a sci-fi original movie effect.
Sharknado looked better than that. And why is he here? How did he get in?
Yeah, one, he disappears from the film at 10 minutes at length. Then
he was in the cornfield, wasn't he?
He was in the cornfield.
Burning.
Now he's not burning. The other guy's frying. But it's like, if Jason's following these characters all around town, why does he just...
let them get to their destination and then attack them?
That's not Jason Voorhees.
That's Michael Myers.
Yes. Jason doesn't waste fucking time, man. In any of these guys...
I shot him 6 times!
But yeah, I mean, in any of the previous Friday movies, Jason doesn't fucking waste time. He'll stalk someone around for a little bit, but man, he gets the fucking job done. So he's got the body count he has. He doesn't fucking dick around.
And then I guess that's why I liked some of the earlier films, because even Brooker's performance in 3, he still kind of felt human.
Yeah.
He reacted when he got hit. Yada yada.
Yeah. And it's another weird thing here in the Crystal Lake documentary thing. It's like, okay, we want to get rid of Kane because we want to go in a different direction, but let's hire someone who was Kane's stunt double so he can still have some of his mannerisms and stuff like that. And there's like, okay, make up your fucking mind. Yes or no? Stop with the maybe crap. Stop with the half we do, half we don't stuff. Either it's the same thing or it's not going to be like it at all. It just bothers me.
I mean,
And also, Jason got resurrected. This isn't the clothes he was wearing in Jason Goes to Hell. Where'd he get this shit?
Who knows?
Why does he look like a fucking vagrant from the streets?
Go back where you belong? But, do you remember an hour ago when you said, make them remember?
Yeah.
And then I sent you... Oh my god. Okay. Oh boy. What?
This is just...
At what point did... Okay, under this premise, at what point did Freddy, posing as Pam Voorhees, say, go back and kill a couple people, but
Never.
we're going to put a maximum at, say, 3.
Yeah. Didn't. And said, there's bad kids on Elm Street, go teach them a lesson. Make them remember. Put no constraints on them whatsoever.
Now, okay, we're an hour and 5 in, give or take. And we finally have a confrontation.
Yeah.
Under what premise, really? That he won't stop killing and Freddy leave them alone so that I can kill them instead.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what would have been more logical?
Yes.
Michael Myers slept for a year in a shack. He might have had a bad dream or two. Like, if you were to try to sell me that Freddy was in Jason's dream, I would have bought that more easily than this pinball bullshit.
Yeah. This is ridiculous.
Even with a pinball soundtrack in the background. I mean, I can't even. And he's dead. No?
No. He's already dead. That's the problem.
Remember? You were in hell together?
Yes.
Where you still are? Okay. So here's...
Why won't he die? Because Freddy's not a Voorhees.
Well, there you go. This is going to bring up another premise. So, he says, why won't you die? Okay, then that's because you said he's already dead. He was in hell.
Mm-hmm.
Where Freddy also was.
Yes.
In hell. Mm-hmm. So, he's also dead.
Mm-hmm.
But he was dead originally.
Mm-hmm.
At what point... So, he was dead before the first movie.
Yes.
How... Oh my god, I can't. My brain is just doing cartwheels here. And all of this lighting, the red for Freddy, the blue, the green for the water, the blue for this bullshit. Like, it just really... Ugh.
It's tacky.
So they have Jason captured here, and are we to believe that this is actually Jason's dream?
I'm guessing so. I mean, as much sense as it makes for a undead zombie killer to be able to fall asleep and have REM sleep.
Oh, here's Jason 8.
Yeah. Sure as hell don't look like Ari Lehman.
I mean, okay.
I mean, here's one of the things, like, okay, Ronny Yu's like, well, I gotta make one of these guys kind of sympathetic for you can root for. It's like, why can't you just have fans of the different franchises have their own person to root for and make them both the characters that they are? Why do you have to transform Jason?
What is this shit?
Why do you have to transform Jason into a sympathetic figure here? You don't have to do it.
But it's not even effective.
The sympathetic characters should be the victims that are in the movie. That's how you make horror films. You build up good quality characters, you make them sympathetic, and then the killer comes after them, and the killer is the villain of the movie.
And you get sad when they die.
Yes.
Like Crispin Glover.
Right.
Or whoever.
Yeah.
Or you get really excited when they die.
Yeah.
Because they're, annoying or whatever. Love me or hate me, just have a reaction.
Yeah. I have no reaction to these characters.
Then that means they're not characters. And a dose of what? Hypnosil?
I don't know. I don't know. They're trying to wake him up now so he can bring Freddy into the real world. But how does Jason know to fucking do that? He doesn't.
No. These characters know that that's a thing.
But how do they know that's a thing?
Well, because the one... When they said let's tie her up or whatever, and then she pulled the piece of flesh out of her dream, and then it turned into maggots, which that's a thing apparently. Well, this kind of is cool. Okay, I'm down with this. This looks like old, but then there's this whatever this slow motion thing is. I don't know.
Okay, so she's going to the gym so she can pull Freddy out of it. That's not 11-year-old Jason. That's like 18-year-old Jason.
Are we to believe this is 1957 or whatever it is?
Yep. Again, people who didn't watch any of the goddamn other movies and know jack shit about anything, really. That's not how Jason looked in the coda sequence of the first film.
I mean, bad.
Yeah, it's just... Ugh. I mean, again, it's that same thing I was just talking about. It's like, okay, you want to make one character sympathetic and the other one a straight-up villain. Freddy doesn't feel like a fucking villain in this film. He's a pathetic figure, in my opinion. Jason's getting all the kills. Freddy... I understand that's because that's what the plot is, that Jason's stealing all the kills away from, but Jason has killed more people in this film than Freddy has. So how is Jason the sympathetic figure when he's killed more people than Freddy?
Has Freddy killed any?
One guy, the guy with the burn on his back.
Okay.
We're saying going Freddy's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy.
So Freddy is back, or whatever it said.
So that's the only kill Freddy has in the whole film. And if Freddy is, again, comical, jokey character where you're supposed to be entertained by him and kind of enjoy what he's doing in the film, he's not a villain. He's not a bad guy to me.
He hasn't been a bad guy since 3.
Right.
I mean, maybe it's because I was 8 when I saw it.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, but he's terrifying in 3.
Yeah. I just watched 3 again. He's got... He's still in the zone in that movie, and they're still tapping into a little bit of horror here and there. They're kind of making him creepy and everything. And plus, 3's got the best collection of characters in the franchise.
Not to rehash, but that scene in 3 where he grows from the foot of the bed, terrified me to the point where, like, I couldn't even sleep in my bed because I was afraid that something was going to grow from the foot. He was going to appear. Yeah. Like, it's... There's nothing about this that's scary.
Right. I'm not rooting for Jason because the portrayal of Jason's so far off the mark. He doesn't even resemble the character in any way that he's portrayed. Freddy's way too...
And this is like, what is this?
It's like the Matrix or something. And now he's Demon Freddy, which is nothing that's ever been established in the franchise before.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the devil.
Yeah, why?
I mean, what? I don't even know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
They drove to Crystal Lake?
For what reason, I don't know. I think the only thing is if we put Jason to rest back where he was created...
No.
Which they already did in Jason Lives, and all it was just like we just anchored him to the bottom of the lake. It didn't stop him from doing anything. It just feels like a script that just like the few ideas they come up with, just slap on the wall, is just like, write it out, I don't give a shit. It's such a bizarre mix of things where it's like, okay, you obviously watch Dream Warriors because you know about Hypnosil, you know about Weston Hills, but everything else just doesn't feel like it has any reverence for the quality of what you've come before and the continuity you've had, or some of the other ideas, or some of the other characters you've introduced in the franchise. Again, it's selective pick and choose what you want to have acknowledged, and everything else doesn't mean anything. Dismiss whatever the fuck you want because you don't care, because the director's never watched any of these films to veto any idea or interject anything from the established mythos to have add anything to the film. That's the detriment of having a director who just doesn't know anything about the property. Because there's no way they have any way to gauge where to go with anything.
Right. I mean, admittedly, all directors don't have script input or whatever.
Right.
But having even seen anything, they would have at least some perspective.
Right. I mean,
to be able to frame certain things certain ways.
Say someone came in and did a Harry Potter sequel, a new version or something like that, a new continuation. I didn't watch any of the other Harry Potter films. I didn't read any novels. What if someone did that?
I mean,
we're hiring this guy who knows nothing about Harry Potter to make a new Harry Potter movie. How you like that?
Well, the fans would riot.
Exactly. Because it's a stupid idea.
Right.
I mean, I'm not even asking for someone that has deep, seated, intimate knowledge. But
J.K. Rowling could have written the script, but you would have no idea what to do with it.
Right.
Because you're not knowledgeable about the product. Product knowledge is key.
Yes. Because I'm not asking for someone who has deep-seated, intimate, detailed knowledge of it. Just someone who's watched a marathon of these things on Cinemax a couple of times. Just at least has a knowledge. Be able to say, okay, I recognize what this is with Jason. I kind of have an idea. I can field collaborations for people to understand what any of it, where to pull things and where to drive things towards. Let's just slap it all on the wall and figure out what just tickles his nerve at the moment.
What beef would Jason have with Freddy at this point?
He has none. Aside from knocking around in the dream.
Did Freddy or did Freddy not allow him to get out of hell and allow him to kill again?
Yes.
So he should be writing him a fucking thank you card, not trying to murder him.
Yeah. And as we...
Jason loves a window gag.
What have we seen of Freddy when he's in the real world? Well, we've been a little contentious about some of those things. But if Freddy goes into the real world, and the premise in the previous films is that once he's in the real world, he really doesn't have any of his powers.
He's susceptible.
Yes. Then we get this whole sequence here where he's getting rammed through the fucking cabin and having shit thrown at him and have limbs ripped off and everything, and he doesn't just keel over and die. Jason can take this. He can take the pounding because he's undead, but once Freddy basically gets in the real world, he doesn't he's not immortal. He's not invincible. He, again, said susceptible. He's more or less a mortal being.
I kind of like Linderman here. I wish he didn't die. Not that he's a good character, but at least he's a character.
Yeah. At least it has a tinge of being kind of sweet in a certain way.
Right. I mean, he's likable.
Yeah.
You kind of at least know who he is.
Yeah.
At some point, Robert Englund decided that all girls are bitches.
Yeah.
And it's like, even at conventions, when you hear him like insult in the Freddy voice,
yeah,
it's always bitch.
Yeah.
Like, that's his word. Bitch is a Freddy word.
Yeah.
Seeing that come at me would terrify me, because it terrified me as a child. Like, just that walk. He's got that saunter.
Yeah.
Kind of the sideways.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is kind of funny. Yeah. This is a take on the Manhattan scene, I guess. This is the first film where we've talked about Freddy's cock. No.
And of course, in this whole thing where Freddy's beef is that Jason's taking all my kills, he just lets Jason go off and kill someone for him anyway.
He says, "Hold on, lady. Turn around and
let this guy kill you. I'm not going to kill you, because even though this is my entire thing to go off and kill as many people to regain my power, nah. Right. Just for a funny gag. I mean, I'm sure there's people who would say, what would you expect from a film of this expectation of like a kitschy fan servicey thing? I just expect something that has a little reverence towards the damn characters and a plot that makes some goddamn sense and follows its own logic.
I would say the first thing to change is create the conflict between the two. Mm-hmm. In some capacity, because there is none here.
Right. And that was the big problem with all those other stupid scripts, that they probably couldn't figure out any way to bring them together, so let's convolute the backstory to the most ridiculous degree possible that would piss off every fan you could imagine. I don't know. These other screenwriters just couldn't figure anything out to get them together as a conflict, so they had to create some bullshit.
Well, yeah, it's all those ones that you kind of rattled off earlier at the beginning of the show were more like, here's a scenario where they could both exist, and that was good enough. We don't have to have conflict.
Yeah.
And, even though, he was mine, you shouldn't have killed him, is a conflict.
Yeah.
It's not a good one.
No.
I mean, it's more conflict than, some of the other premises you laid out, but...
I mean, you can take the basic premise of this, but you've got to write it better than this, is the basic thing. And it's like, it's not even so much the ideas, it's how it's written and how it's executed and how bad the dialogue is in this thing and how contrived every plot element becomes, because it's so just written without any sense of, I don't know, I just said sense of the quality is the basic thing I can say.
I mean, I can tell you right now, by this point, long before this point, I wanted my money back. And I didn't pay anything. I remember I had my, I took my stepbrother, and who was also pretty fired up for it at the time because I had shown him all the movies. 17 of them, by the way, for the record.
Yeah.
In case we didn't mention that.
Yes.
Source material. And man, we were so excited. We sat down in the theater, and man, it was like a fart in church. This movie, you know what I mean? You're drained at the end, and it really kind of just ruins everything about all of them.
I mean, it's just so comic in a certain way. Not as a comic book, but I mean, it's playing things so kitschy and so...
He just knifed his ass.
Right. Yeah, I can get into this part a little bit. I mean, this is probably basically what you're looking for these two to get together. Just stop the gimmicky crap. Just let them rip each other apart.
Right. Blows. Give me blows. Yeah. There you go. That's good. He gave him he gave him a Mo Howard.
Yes.
Who I would marry, by the way. He's already there. She must be his other daughter.
Yeah. I mean, technically, this is the fire and water thing, but it just you don't need the setup for this to have that kind of context.
And this dramatic music.
Yeah. And also, another piece of continuity. Freddy always had green blood.
That's true.
Yep.
Unless they're in the real world now. Are they in the real world now?
They are in the real world now.
Didn't Freddy only have green blood in the dream world?
Well, he never bled the real world that I know of. I'm not going back and watching Freddy's Dead to find that out. And then
no kidding.
We weren't entirely certain that was real world either. Because they don't make a point of it either.
Your point is valid.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah. But, and again, another stupid fucking idea they had with one of these fucking scripts that, at the end of it, Jason and Freddy go back to hell and Pinhead's there.
Right.
That's a different studio, you fucking morons. You know, I never did a fucking Hellraiser movie.
You know what? Hell is not owned by a studio, Nick.
Well, Pinhead is.
Hell is... Hell... Oh, God, you're the best. Hell is all-encompassing. Hell is not discriminatory.
They can go back to hell, but Pinhead can't be there because they don't own that franchise.
He's in a different section of hell that they can't get to unless you are at Weston Hills and then you know what's going on in all the other sections.
Whatever the fuck, yeah. It's just one of those fucking things like, people just don't even pay attention to what the fuck you're even writing.
I mean, there's bad CGI. What if he killed him with his own hand? So, I kind of like the idea of them killing each other.
With other other weapons.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No.
And then they both die, and, because I think a lot of the hype to this was which side is going to win.
Right. And they even had the sort of, one of the screeners had a clue-style ending. You go to one screen, you get this ending. You go to another screen, the other guy wins.
That's not a bad idea. I'm okay with that.
Nah.
And then on home video, you get to see them both.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the idea that they kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
The story's over. No more money.
Mm-hmm.
You're cut off.
Well, considering, despite how much fucking money this thing made, just killed it afterwards. Because, again, I was in contact with Jeff Katz, pitched the whole thing of team this up with the Evil Dead franchise. But Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell won't sign off on it because they're very meticulous about what they want to have, what they want to have the franchise associated with. And so it just becomes a comic book, and then let's do a remake later on. Like, we made all this money, and then we're not going to capitalize on it. I mean, the fact that they had such fucking trouble getting a goddamn script together for this one, and even the one they shot, it just rough draft at best.
This one?
Yeah, I'm just saying this
agreed.
One. If I took them 10 years and all these fucking screenwriters, all these directors to come up with a script that's just not even passable, not even serviceable, the thing that they could come up with a sequel idea that would be that would have any business being on screen at all.
You posted recently on social media that you and I could come up with a better script for this.
Absolutely.
I know we've talked about doing a Friday fan film.
Yeah, long time ago.
Doesn't even look like Jason.
No, there's no resemblance to any of the makeup jobs they ever had for him in the franchise. The build's completely wrong.
Boo!
Boo. Like, no.
Oh, those two assholes are to blame.
Yeah, and they write the remake.
No. Really?
Yeah, they're the screenwriters on the... Again, they brought in David S. Goyer to also doctor their script. And supposedly, because from what I heard from people who read their original script, Goyer made the dialogue worse. He took out elements like having Tommy Jarvis even mentioned in the film, because apparently he was supposed to be... There was supposed to be an element because they were building like Crystal Lake resorts. They were refurbishing the camp into like a resort area.
Okay.
And he was supposed to be doing like a petition to make sure that they kept it shut down.
I'm down with that. Like, you know, they want to build some condos or some shit,
Yeah.
and he says no.
Yeah. So...
Makes sense.
Goyer just scrubbed everything that was worth a crap out of the goddamn script and made it worse from all the accounts I've heard about it in comparisons.
Zacharias. Yeah, not good at all.
And Grammerville, I mean, he's done a couple of scores. I think he did the Child's Play score.
The original?
I think so. We talked about him in one of the two. It might have been two. I don't know. We talked about him in another commentary before, but he's done some great scores before. He's done The Crow. He did the Vin Diesel Riddick films, Pitch Black, stuff like that. He's done some really good scores. This one, I've got the scores. He sounds like he did this on a 15-minute coffee break.
Which also looks
no...
like the CGI was done in 15-minute coffee breaks.
Because apparently the Bernstein theme was added in after the fact. He didn't add it into the score whatsoever.
Unbelievable.
All the same, if you listen to the score, it's the same. There's a melody in there that's not from any franchise, either franchise, and it's looped over and over and over and over again. He basically put like next to no effort on the score, which really upset me because I know the quality of what he can bring to a film, and it really just annoyed me that he just didn't bring anything to it. I mean, I can't fault that if he saw what they did with the film and thought like, there's not much I can do with this. I can understand that, but even sometimes if there's like certain bad films, like there can be some shining moments. Some, like an actor puts in really just goes forward, or someone, you can usually find something that kept its standards up to something, and there's just nothing in here that really measures up.
No. I mean, all of the Freddy stuff looked bad.
Again, why are there no practical effects in this goddamn movie except for like one scene? Why is it all CGI? Why are you done? Ronny had some fascination with just dumping 500 gallons of blood at the screen. Just throw more blood at it. More blood. More blood.
And half of it was CGI blood.
Yeah, it's just. Again, I feel that a lot of that the aesthetics, the tone, the feel of the film comes down to the fact that he just had no knowledge of the franchises. I'm sure, I can't help but believe, but if you got a director who knew at least something about the franchises, and he wasn't even a horror director, he was a Hong Kong action director.
Oh yeah, you could tell that he was, he did the Bruce Lee type movies.
Yeah, so something along those lines. Yeah, and reason he kind of got their gig is he did Bride of Chucky.
I recall
which
that.
is exactly the same style of film this is.
Ugh, I've never seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in 20 years, but it just the fact. I mean, if with regardless of whatever scripts they were working on, there's got to be a couple of those directors you're talking to over the years that would have done a hell of a fucking better job than this.
And I really think it starts with the screenplay.
It starts with the screenplay, but even I just feel like it starts with the screenplay. But I mean, if you had a really good screenplay, I don't think Ronny would have been the right director, no matter what screenplay it had. He just is not
simply based on his lack of product knowledge.
And it's not his sensibilities to make a horror film. He's a big spectacle director in a certain way. If he's doing Hong Kong action stuff, it's action, it's stunts, it's stuff like that. It's big choreography, it's set pieces. He's not a guy who's skilled in suspense and tension or stuff like that to really kind of understand the genre, to be able to work with the genre.
How long are these credits? Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
Like, they've been going on for minutes and minutes.
No. I mean, again, people get enjoyment out of this. If they like schlocky stuff that's badly written, it's you're a thing to enjoy. But it's just like as we get into these commentaries, like we've done some schlock that we've enjoyed, and we always talk about Shocker all the time because it's just a certain level of value in the entertainment quality of the film, despite the ridiculousness of it.
Well, there's still like the first half of Shocker is scary.
Yeah,
legit scary.
Yeah.
And, it turns into a comedy.
Yeah.
But sometimes a genre shift is acceptable.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, it has a beginning, a middle, and end.
Yeah.
It tells a story. It might not be the greatest story,
No.
admittedly. But, I mean, if you really take the time to write this down on paper, what do you have? A few sentences, and they don't even go together.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
The cat is blue. I like potatoes. Oh,
these are all the names of the character actors who showed up in the montage. Like, why you...
They all got a payday.
Yeah. It's like, I saw Leslie Dean's like, what are you thinking her for? Oh, okay. You used 2 seconds for her footage.
Terrible. This one gets a thumbs down from me.
Yeah. Again, it just comes down to the fact that, I mean, everyone just made such convoluted stories, and they just couldn't come up with a simple concept. Just a simple concept somewhere, and find just one interesting hook in there to bring the characters together.
This movie is, 95 minutes long. They could put together a longer documentary about the making of, or the development of this movie that would be 10 times more entertaining than the finished product.
Yeah. So.
We might have to crowdfund that.
I don't know.
All right, well.
We have to sit through some stories about people thinking it's a quality film. I don't know about that.
Thank you to all those folks that continue to watch along and comment and mention us on the Twitter and on the YouTube channel. And we love interacting, and we've been given some high praise. We've been given some terrible feedback, and we relish all of it.
Some interesting ideas to discuss and everything. So
yeah, good times.
It's been fun. I really appreciate the fact that a lot of the people who comment do so in a constructive fashion to build up the throw out ideas.
It's more discussion.
It's discussion, yeah.
Yeah, it's not just blatant hate speech. Yeah.
So, just a way of talking criticism on a civil level. So thanks so much, guys. And we'll be back with better stuff shortly. So
sounds good. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.